Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. So I am Echo and today we're going to go over some hauls that I've done recently. Really, it's not that many books. It's 7, something like that, 8. It's just because I have recently moved from Alaska to Minneapolis, which is quite the move and it's quite chaotic because nothing's working out. However, I am optimistic and it means that I have gone 2 weeks without books. Buying, reading, anything like that physically. So I may have bought some. So let's go over some. It's going to be 3 different places, or rather 3 different days, like purchases. The first one is from Half Price Books, and I bought 4 books. The first one here is actually a sequel to one that I already have. My Vampire Plus One by Jenna Levine. And I haven't read the first one, which is My Roommate is a Vampire, or My Roommate the Vampire. I own it. I own it physically, but it's at home. It's in Alaska. It hasn't been shipped down here yet. So I can't really read this one yet unless I get the other one on audio, which I really don't mind. So I got this one because it was on the new releases for the 20% off kind of thing, somewhere around there. But this one follows Amelia and Reginald. So Amelia's parents are really stoked about her like getting in a relationship and trying to get married, and she's the last one of her like family too, and they're very encouraging of that. And we all know it can get into kind of an overbearing situation sometimes. So she enlists the help of her friend Reginald, who I assume is the vampire in the situation, given the silhouette and his little fangs. He loves to cause drama and issues and chaos, and she knows that. So she's like, hey, how about you pretend to be my boyfriend, and my family is going to be so horrified with you that they won't bug me to get a boyfriend anymore. And then fake dating turns to romance. So I'm excited to get to this one. I don't know if I'll get to this one this month, but Half Price Books, book 1. The second book is Love at First Book by Jen McKinley. And this one is very bookish, if you couldn't tell. So it's a romance where, what's the name? I'm bad with names. Emily Allen, goes by M, is a librarian, and her idol is an author named Siobhan. And so Siobhan offers her job in Ireland. And Ireland, yeah, it says Irishman later, so it says Emerald Isle. Offers her job in the Emerald Isle. So she goes down there to help her run her bookstore, and I guess Siobhan has a son who is actually the one managing the bookstore. So M has to work for him, and it's grumpy sunshine kind of vibes is what it's looking like, because she said it's a grumpy mercurial Irishman. And romance should ensue. So I'm really excited to get to this one, and the like librarian Ireland like vibes really scream fall to me. So I'm excited for this one. Lastly, from Half Price Books, I got the next 2 volumes in the Promised Neverland series. It is 5 and 6. I've read the first 4. I don't own them, but I have read the first 4, and I've really been enjoying them. It's dystopian manga, and it follows these kids who, this is not a spoiler because it happens in the first book, like the first chapter of the first book, where they figure out that their orphanage is not really an orphanage, it's a farm for children, because the demons in the world eat children and they want the smartest brains to eat. So now the kids are trying to get them and all of the other ones out, like the oldest 3 or something like that. So 5 and 6, if you can see, I don't know how to turn it the right way. The art in here is really fun. And I'm really excited to get back into this world, because I have the next 2. So, and it's a complete series. There's 20 volumes in total. I'm really excited to get to 5 and 6. So that's my Half Price book haul. So the next purchase I made was Target, and I specifically went to Target this day, last week, 2 days ago, something like that. I went to Target to get this book because I'll show you. So it is called The Games Gods Play by Abigail Owen, and it has the most beautiful like Greek sprayed edges going on here, and I'm super excited for it. And look at like, let me pull this up a little bit. The end papers are stunning. So obviously I don't buy just for what things look like, especially now that sprayed edges are becoming more like expected for a lot of books, or like a lot more people buy them just for the sprayed edges. I'm really into mythology, Greek mythology, especially because that's what I grew up with like Percy Jackson. So when I heard somebody talking about this, I don't remember who it was, but I heard somebody talking about this because it's a Hades fantasy romance, and I love Hades. And I know a lot of like Hades and Persephone ones are out there, but this one's like immortal in Hades, and I guess it's like Hunger Games vibes, because the tagline in here is, "The gods love to play with us mere mortals, and every 100 years we let them." So I'm pretty sure it's like she's Hades' champion who's going into this scenario, this competition setting with all of these other gods champions, and I don't know what happens to the winner, but I guess we'll see together. I'm excited for this one. It is beautiful. And the second one I got from this haul was X's and Foes by Amanda Woody. So I'm gonna try and get my fingers out of the way of the cover here. So this one is actually YA, and I'm shocked that I ended up getting this one because I don't read a lot of YA. I used to when I was younger, obviously, but in recent years, 6 years, I just haven't been able to connect really with any protagonist from YA. I've really enjoyed Heartstopper. Really, really enjoyed it. It is graphic novel, but it is queer, and so this one is queer, and so I'm hoping, because the summary really intrigues me. This is about, I think it's these two is what I'm gonna assume. I know it's him, Caleb, and I know the female protagonist is Emma, and so I'm assuming it's this one because, well, they've had like some dramatic teenage years because they're both bisexual. At least Emma is bisexual. But they've been kind of going back and forth a lot in their high school stuff. They're friends, they're rivals, but it's like that kind of vibe. So then this new girl, Juliet, comes in, and they both like her. That's why I'm assuming she's the one in the middle. Juliet comes in, and Emma proposes to Caleb that, hey, we both like her. To make things fair, first one that she kisses gets to date her. And I'm assuming it all ends up in like a poly relationship situation. So I'm super excited to try and read it. It is like a YA book club at Target or something, but I don't participate in YA book clubs, so I'm gonna try it. I'm really, really hopeful. And that concludes our first Target haul. Spoiler alert, the one I went to today that I just got back from was another Target haul, because I went and bought these ones like yesterday, 2 days ago, and my discount didn't work. And then today I wake up and it's Circle Week, like where you get the buy two get one free at Target of books, and it's I just bought two, you know, that kind of thing. But it happened. So I went back there today because the Barnes & Noble I went and like worked at for a few hours for the afternoon was right next to a Target. So I just kind of hopped over there when I was done. So there are these three. Let me take a glance at the backs and then I'll come back to you. Okay, so read the backs of them, so hopefully I can communicate them properly. The first book of 3 is Daydream by Hannah Grace. So I read the first book in this series, Icebreaker, and I really enjoyed it. The thing is, I'm really into hockey romances, so I read it for that, and I enjoyed it for the other things. Like, I really like a few of the characters on the hockey team. And when Wildfire came out, I was really disappointed by the blurb on the back. I'll set this one down because it's not about this one. I was really not into the blurb of Wildfire. I didn't want a summer camp situation. I didn't want counselors. I didn't really, I wasn't into it, okay? And that's fine. Most romance series are standalone series where it's nice to read all of them so you get the most complete picture, but it's not necessary. So after kind of pondering it for a while, I decided not to read Wildfire, but I was excited for Daydream. Daydream came out last month, I believe. Right now it's October that I'm, like early October that I'm filming this, but I have been really looking forward to Daydream because while it's on a college campus and I don't read a lot of like academic settings, I am enjoying New Adult, and I think a lot of like the college hockey leagues are totally fine. I'm really enjoying reading them. So Henry is the male lead here, and I've really enjoyed his character in Icebreaker. And the situation is him needing tutoring. Crashes her book club. That's like, I didn't remember if it was tutoring or book club. So he crashes her book club, Hallie, and she's writing a book, and they, for some reason, have this, I'm pretty sure it has to be like a tutoring situation, like the trope, where they apparently have rule books. So here it says they need to stick to their rule book, where item 4 reads, "Don't fall in love." So of course they're gonna fall in love, and it's bookish, and there's a hockey player, and he's really sweet. So I've been really wanting to read this. It is the third in a series. I've read the first one, not gonna read the second one. I'm excited. Second is Morbidly Yours by Ivy Fairbanks. So this one I didn't even know existed until last week when I was catching up on BookTube. I don't remember who mentioned it, but they pulled up like 4 Halloween romances, like rom-coms, and this was one of them. I don't think they read it, but I was intrigued. And so when I saw it at Target for a 2-for-1 special, I bought it. Pretty sure this is my free one too, because it was the cheapest one. It's kind of short. 300 pages. So this one is between Callum and Lark. So it's set in Texas. Lark is an animator. Callum has an undertaking business-ish. The undertaking business is his family's business, and if he doesn't get married by the time he's 35, married by 35, he cannot inherit it. He wants to inherit it because it's his family's business. It's what he does. Awesome. So then she shows up, and it sounds like her husband died. So she shows up, and she wants to help him get married. But obviously they're going to fall in love in the process, and I'm very excited to give it a shot. So that's my second one. Third and final one for this haul is The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. And you know how it kind of is in college, where you have so much coursework that you can't read for fun. So in later college years and when I got out of college, I've been reading a lot of romance. Totally fine. I love romance. I really, really do. But I'm at the space now where I've been out long enough that I want to read some fantasy again, to get really like dug into magic systems, so that I can think about them for my own writing and I can enjoy them and just get back into the swing of things, right? So when I saw The Spell Shop in Barnes & Noble at home, I read the blurb. I was very excited. I wanted to read it. Couldn't buy it because I've already donated like 140 books. I can't just like buy them before I leave. I can't do that. My logical brain won't let me. So when I saw this at Target today, and it still has the lavender sprayed edges, very cute. It only matches the title. Anyway, when I saw this in Target, I bought it. It looks like it's a cozy fantasy rom-com is the situation. So we have Kiela, 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 and she lives with her sentient plant, and they have to go on the run because of the magic that they're practicing. So then she goes to this island where her family used to live, and her neighbor is very attentive and kind and trying to be a good neighbor, and she just thinks he's sticking his nose where it don't belong. And so she finds a place for herself to be in the community. She apparently illegally or does illegal magic in order to make like tea, jam, Yeah, she does illegal magic to make berries grow around her house so that she can make jam because it's missing at her local bakery. That's all in the front here. I'm not spoiling anything. But cozy fantasy rom-com. Very excited. Looks like a really fun magic system. And I really like cozy. So I haven't read any cozy fantasy yet, and this is a romance. So let's give it a shot. Okay. Here we go. Here's my haul stack. So I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books. Yep, 9. I have 9 books now that I have physically, and I need to get reading because it's ridiculous if I just have 9 books that I bought in a week and I haven't read any of them. So I'm calling it for the day. I can hopefully edit this really quickly and put it up tomorrow because I have an interview on Friday. So cannot promise an end screen card or a beginning just because I haven't done anything yet. I keep filming clips and not posting them. So this one's all one take. I'm just going to chop up the silences and just post it without editing it any further. Give me some practice doing that. So hopefully you enjoy. Let me know what you want me to do next, what you're curious about, what's going on, any questions that you might have for me so we can get some chatting in the comments. Thank you.